This is the Lake Kissimmee State Park. I believe I'm on the Buster Trail, although it isn't super clearly marked. I do know for sure I'm on one of the horse trails. This is quite an interesting place out here. I never truly expected the flatness of Florida. I've been to Florida quite a few times, but I've never actually gotten to see any wilderness areas in Florida. I tell you, there are lots of things out here that just make sounds and jump out at you, which I guess is part of the experience. To get in here is $4, that's all, $4. And I think I'm like the only one out here. So, nice and peaceful. The time is 11:37, and I am at post marker 2-3. That way goes back around the way I came. This way goes further into the woods. So at marker 23, I'm gonna go right/straight. This part of the forest right here really gives me some northern Wisconsin vibes. Like if northern Wisconsin was tropical, this is exactly what it would be like. You got some conifers, look similar to jack pine, but then you got palm trees. And I think Lake Kissimmee, Florida is about as dead central Florida as you can get. It might be a little bit further south, but it's dead center of the panhandle. And it feels very muggy here. It is also, as you know, extremely humid. I usually don't sweat that much, but I'm sweating like crazy out here, and I'm not even exerting myself. Something I find quite difficult down here in the south is, well, it's much harder for me to navigate at these lower latitudes because I'm just not used to, I don't know, mainly the sun way up there. In the higher latitudes, I'm used to the sun generally being southerly in the sky. So I always can tell, even when we're at high noon, roughly where north, south, east, west is based on the sun. But down here, at the lower latitudes, the sun is more true east overhead than west. And that's fine and dandy when it's in the morning or evening, but when you're at high noon, like we are right now, it can get kind of tricky to find your direction without a compass, especially if you're unfamiliar with the area like I am right now. I did finally make my way back onto the Buster Trail, which is the white trail. That is red. That is red. That is white. So the red trail and the orange trail are for equine or horses, and the white and yellow trail are for people. So I'll be honest, I could not figure out how to get onto the trailhead for the Buster Trail, which is, again, the white one. So I just went on the red one because I thought, well, it'll get me somewhere. And you know what? It did. Here at marker number 21. So let's continue on the Buster Trail. This question is for any of you Florida natives or anyone who's familiar with the biology and ecology of Central Florida. Every time I walk by one of these fern bushes, I hear a pretty strong rustling, like a reasonably large animal is in there. Probably, you know, a 2-pound, 3-pound animal. Call that, you know, 1 to 2 kilos. But I don't know what that would be. Is it a gecko or a lizard or a rodent? What is in those things? Because I can never see it and I can never find it. That is an armadillo. What the heck? All right, bye, little buddy. I'm going to take a wild guess and say that there was a fire here, either intentional or unintentional, not that long ago, because there's a lot of fresh brush and a lot of dead, tall trees. Another question for you Florida folk. What do you have down here for spiders? Also, fire confirmed, probably 2 or 3 years ago, maybe a little longer, but recent enough that all the char hasn't completely rotted off of the tree. So yeah, what do you have here for spiders? I think you have rattlesnakes, don't you? Could be wrong. I mean, I was wrong about the armadillo. I didn't think those would be here. That was quite a surprise. So snakes and spiders, what do you got? Let me know. I have made it to the primitive campsite, which is down that way. And the way I came, 3.8 miles to the trailhead. The way I'm going, 2.9. So even though this isn't even remotely halfway, this kind of seems like the halfway point just because it's close to being as far away from the trailhead as you can get. It's just that this direction is a little more direct to get to the way back, or that's more indirect. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but a skull on a post usually means death to all who enter. But I'm okay, because I came from that direction. I'm going that way, so I'll be just fine. It's a turtle. I'll let him pass. Who's going to move first, me or him? You don't have to be afraid, little buddy. I'm not going to hurt you. Cool. And he's making his way on now. Wonder where he's going in such a hurry. Man, Florida's got it all. They even have cactus. This isn't the West. Well, this part reminds me, well, if I was to take a guess, equal parts prairie Nam, and a little bit of northern US, Canada area with some of the pine. What a weird place. Yeah, Florida is just weird, but I love it. So the route I took, let's see, was from I think this parking spot through that little trail across the river, and then on, which one? It was this trail up here, down around here, and then somewhere in there is where I got onto, is right here. So down this trail and all the way back onto, back to the parking spot. In total that was about 7 miles, and it took me about almost exactly 2 hours exactly, so that's 3.5 miles an hour average walking speed. It's not bad. I wasn't racing, but still, that's some pretty good progress. So if you're in the area, you must stop by. This place is incredible. That was only one of the trails. The other trail is almost as long, and it goes on the northern section of the park. So yeah, come and do this. It's great.